Oh, don't hit it.
All right, all right, all right. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dave Sharpe, and welcome to the Wake Up Legendary show. I am excited. I'm honored. I'm all of those warm and fuzzy things to be with you this morning. We've got some incredible guests, and we're also launching a TikTok challenge. If you did not know, this is happening inside of our Facebook group, and maybe some of our fancy behind the scenes folks can get out our link in the comments section to our Facebook group. If you're watching this on one of our Facebook pages, or if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, we've got a Facebook group. I'll give you if you want to just search it real quick on Facebook, you can search it at Legendary Marketer. It's got 20,000 people in it. So if you come across one that doesn't have exactly 20,000 people in it, you're not in the right place. It's legendarymarketer.com/groups/legendary marketer. And so we'll try to drop that link down. I think Caroline's getting that behind the scenes for you guys. We don't normally invite people into our Facebook group, but this is a special time. We're going to be taking a group of people, several hundred. How many of the 20,000 people want to participate in this TikTok challenge? We're going to be taking them through a 7-day TikTok challenge, because if you're looking to sell stuff online, if you're looking to sell more affiliate products, if you're looking to sell more of your courses, coaching, network marketing products, at this point, I don't care. Anything that you are looking to get in front of more people, TikTok's hot right now. And the reason why I know that is not actually because I'm the one who's crushing it on TikTok. Although I love to be in the trenches, marketing, writing copy, building campaigns. It's actually many of our students inside of the Legendary Marketer community, many of these dudes who I've had on over the past couple of days, and many more who I'm going to have in the next few days, over the next week or so. And we're just going to be talking about TikTok. We're going to be talking about how to take advantage of a new platform. And the fact that this is yet again, another one of those situations to where, like many people have done in the past, they said, well, this is just for kids. Silly rabbit, TikTok's just for kids. And they came crawling back. They said the same thing about Facebook, same thing about Instagram, same thing about Snapchat. And they came crawling back, especially, right, when these platforms started to take off, when they launched ads and advertisers started to move in. All platforms start like this. Kids go and swarm them. They get a huge user base, and then they attract the millennials. They attract the boomers. Before you know it, they got world domination going on. So we've got people who are generating, one guy almost $10,000 in affiliate commissions promoting a product with almost 1 million views, free video views in 28 days. And there's tons of, 10,000 views, 5,000 views, 1,000 followers. Hey, I got 1,000 subscribers over to my YouTube because I push people over to YouTube. I'm making a couple of affiliate sales a day. All kinds of success stories are happening. So if you want to join our group and start that TikTok challenge today, what we're doing, and I've got some very special guests. I'm going to bring them on here in a second. But today what we're doing is we are opening and launching our TikTok profiles. And in the post inside of the Facebook group, we're dropping our handles in there. And everybody in the group is encouraged to go and follow you. So if you want to participate in that and launch your profile to get tons of followers right off the bat, real followers, people who are involved in our community, then you can do that. So go and join our group. Look for the post in the announcement section, and you can be a part of that 7-day challenge. The rules are very simply to follow the instructions of the post each day, post 2 videos, either 15 or 60 seconds, and then share your results in the Facebook group. How simple is that? All right. So now let's get into it. I am going to bring in some incredible people here, and some folks that I just absolutely adore and am such huge fans of and have become great friends with. These folks are part of our community. They're entrepreneurs in their own right. Andre and Brittany Miller. What up?
I don't know what's going on.
Hey, so you guys are kind of split. Yeah, so I just
We
want to
can
make
just
sure. I mean,
get some loving going on.
yeah, I mean, act like you
Right?
like each other for God's
Yeah,
sakes.
I was
You
gonna
know,
say.
I know that you're quarantined right now. You've got a toddler. You may be like many of the couples around the country who at this point are basically just asking their spouse if they can breathe any quieter. Um,
That's me.
okay. I figured that was Brittany is the one who's the voice, the opinionated one, the not afraid to speak her mind one in the relationship.
Yes.
So how are you guys doing right now as we're going through this kind of unprecedented time? We're going to talk about, getting our spouse's support in business. But how are you guys doing as a couple going through this pandemic right now, just trying to get a real world temperature of where you guys are at?
I actually think things are still going pretty good. The hardest part right now is our 2.5-year-old. He's used to, of course, having us home and him being home, but there's no play group for him, no reading time, no dance class, no play dates. So that's harder. But I feel things are still really on schedule and on point with us. We're dealing with a little bit more temper tantrums,
Yeah.
but things are still on the right track because this is just what we do every day. We're just working around Jackson a little bit more, but that's
Right.
to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? We're having a similar experience at our house with Cecilia. I mean, this is our 4-year-old, and I can say 4 because today is her birthday. I'm going to be going home here in a second. By the way, I am still quarantining, even though I'm here up at our office every day. It's just a couple of blocks from my house, and I get to come up here and work. So I'm very blessed in that respect. But for those of us who kind of do work online and do have our own business, it's not that much of a shakeup and a change, and I'm of course blessed for that. And I would assume you guys would feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we started this 3 years ago. That's where we started, and looking back, that was a good move on our part.
Yeah.
So the best time to start a business is now, like today. Most people try to put things off and they say, well, I'm going to think about it. No, now is the time. You got to jump in because you don't know what's going to happen a year from today, 2 years from today.
Yeah.
So you have to.
For me personally, before I started this, I was working in a hair salon as a cosmetologist. So if I hadn't started this 3 years ago when I did, I would be out of a job right now.
Yeah. So I want to go back. The topic that I want to talk to Andre and Brittany about is how to get your spouse's support when you're trying to start a business. There's a lot of exciting things going on in our community right now, but it's I'm not saying you can't do it, but it makes it a little bit easier if you have your spouse's support when you go to launch a business. It just does. And I was able to channel my spouse's skepticism into energy. Okay. So you guys have probably heard the story. I used to get on and, my wife was skeptical as hell because I was sort of this, and you guys are going to tell that story, which I think is hilarious here in a second, but I would get on and, I would do webinars. Like when I started doing live webinars, like now we're doing live streams, webinars, etc. But back then it was just webinars because we didn't go live on Facebook. And I would plan the webinar and email the few people on my list, and nobody would show up. And I didn't want my wife to know that that nobody showed up. So I'd say, we got a packed house tonight, and I'd deliver the whole webinar and try to be proud, and that actually gave me some good practice to speak and deliver webinars. Mm-hmm. And eventually one person showed up, 2 people showed up. Take us back to 3 years ago in how it went down in your family between you two. Who was the one who started? How did it go down at first? Take us through that story.
All right. So when we just started, I was scrolling on Instagram at the time, and I introduced Brittany to her business, and I said, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And she was like, "No, I don't want to do this type of stuff." And I said, "Okay, fine." And then 2 weeks later, she signed up.
What was the word I used though? I didn't say I don't want to do this type of stuff. I said no, this is a scam.
True. And typical. It's a typical thing where, you have one person in the relationship decided that, okay, they're just going to take your money, they're just going to run away, and you will never see them again. So this was her business, and she signed up. She didn't do anything until January of 2017. And then I decided to get started. But what I did, I told her, I said, listen, I'll do this with you. And that's her business. And did I do anything?
No, you just left me hanging.
So I told her, I said, just figure it out.
He signed me up and he goes, don't worry, we'll do this together. And then no, he didn't. And I didn't do anything for 2 months. And then I decided to jump in.
Yeah. And during that time, it was, we found out we were pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, okay, I need to find something to do. During that time, we were going through immigration because most of you probably know by now that I'm originally from Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Right? And I moved here in 2016 up in November. So going through immigration, it costs almost $9,000. If some of you gone through the same process, you got to pay for medical. You got to pay for, the visits. You got to pay for all the shots. You got to pay for the paperwork. It takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
It sucks money right out of you. So
that we didn't realize.
Yeah, we didn't realize. And that's when I said, okay, I need to find something to do. I started looking. I went on YouTube. I went on YouTube, went on Google, typical how to make money from home. And I start searching. Right. And when you start search, you see oh man, you see videos on top of videos, and I went on Facebook and it was Kai. Shout out to Kai. He posted, anybody want to learn how to make money online? And I shoot him a message real quick, and I said, what you got? And he sent me the video, and it happened to be you.
Wow.
So that's how I started my journey in 2017, February. Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, over the past couple of years, you both have developed, Andre, you've worked in, you've worked in affiliate marketing. You've stuck with us here at Legendary. You've now become a coach and an advisor here with us. And that's been an incredible journey working with you so closely. And Brittany has also gone on to tell us a little bit about your journey, Brittany, because I also think that's, I've seen you out there moving and shaking and selling and marketing and kind of doing your thing. And, you're building a direct sales business. And how did that, and you're crushing it. You're out there just doing it. Bring your face in a little bit too, because I want to, there you go. Tell us about your journey. Tell us about how this all kind of really, I don't know. I mean, you seem to have a fire lit under you, and now you're in this position to where you're full time and running with it too. So how did your business evolve to where now this is what you do?
Okay, so back when Andre signed me up and said he was going to do it with me, I really started focusing. So it was a 2-month period where I wasn't doing anything. And then when we came back to land from living on cruise ships, my old salon that I had quit to go travel with Andre, she said I could come back. It was only going to be part-time. I was pregnant, of course, at the time. And her main concern was, are you going to come back after you have the baby? And I said, yeah, of course, because in my head, I'm like, I do not want to be stuck home all day with my child, because that just wasn't me. I had to get out. And Jackson, our son, was hospitalized when he was 6 weeks old. They thought his intestines were twisted. So we were sitting in the hospital. Our poor child, our first one, was tied up to monitors. He had tubes stuck in him. And my boss is sitting there texting me, knowing what we're going through, saying, I need a return date from you.
Oh.
Like, I am sitting in the hospital next to my son with like tubes shoved in him right now. And you're asking me for a return date. So I looked at Andre and my exact words were, do I have to go back? I said, can we afford it if I do not go back? You said yes. And then
I love how she gives you, I mean,
well,
God.
You didn't go what I said. You said no, not to go back.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, wait, you said yes.
This is classic. I love you too.
Typical relationship, people. This is real. You don't get real in this.
So anyways, but before that had happened, I was doing my direct sales business. But I like to say that I was doing it as a hobby because I wasn't making much money at my job because I only was part-time. I was making, it averaged out to $125 every 2 weeks with the traveling back and forth because I traveled an hour to a college town. So I was only doing my direct sales business as a hobby to pay bills and to get a little bit of like extra spending money because I didn't want to rely on him. I'm very independent. We share money, but I still like my own money. So once I decided not to go back to the salon job, I'm like, okay, I got to like really up this game and make this a full-time income. So that will be going on 3 years in June. I'm proud to say we just had our online virtual awards the other day because, of course, our event was canceled. But I have busted my butt to make it to number 19 in sales globally with my company. And I also have Dave to thank for that because everything he does, I can implement in my business as well. So you can take what Dave has and do absolutely anything with it. So
she's a boss.
I'm trying to find my and also
but I'm sure you used to, so many people on here, I'm sure have seen my old live videos. You get comfortable with being uncomfortable. There are things that still make me sweat, but if you don't get outside of that fear, you're never going to grow.
Yep.
Last month was my absolutely biggest month, and that's even going through this pandemic. Like, my month was unbelievable.
You crushed it.
I crushed last month.
She nailed it. She's putting numbers on the board.
Hey, so now I want to tie this into what we're doing with so many folks right now, which is this TikTok challenge. And guys, look, I mean, if you're not trying a new strategy, if you're not, I mean, like, you could do your own Facebook Live challenge. You could do, I mean, every day, every week, every month should be a challenge. Inside of our company, we're trying to break a record. So we just happen to be right now inside of our legendary community doing a 7-day TikTok challenge. We invite you to be a part of that. I believe Caroline's posted the link for you to join our group, and you can get inside and participate in that. But what I want to do is I want to tie what you just talked about into that, because folks are saying, well, gosh, and this is one of the biggest things that come up, is that I feel uncomfortable creating content. I feel uncomfortable putting myself out there. I feel uncomfortable having conversations. I feel it's that getting comfortable in our own skin and getting comfortable getting uncomfortable and trying new things. So I've seen you both do that, but Brittany, since you were just talking about, and I would probably credit a lot of your taking risk with creating content, taking risk with putting yourself out there with your success, right? It hasn't just fallen in your lap. So what would you tell people who today are trying something new in their business, whether it's, posting 2 videos on TikTok, whether they're going to go live today on Facebook, whatever. We want today to be a day that you challenge yourself to do something outside of the norm and you make a commitment to follow through with that. So what would you tell people? What advice would you give them when they're stepping up to taking that action?
My biggest piece of advice that I implemented over a year ago, which is why I think I've done what I've done in the past year, is you have to stick to something consistently for 6 months. You have to show up every single day, even when you don't want to, and you have to. There's just something about that 6-month period. But I promise you, do a TikTok video for 6 months every single day, you are going to shock yourself. Or if you do a live video for 6 months and show up that every single day, you are going to see success. I will also say, even if you miss a day, I'm a firm believer in this. If you miss a day, that next day you start over, that 6 month period is starting all over. You can't miss a day. You have to be consistent. I feel it's so cliche to say, but you have to be consistent. And this is what I tell everybody I come upon.
Wow. So Andre, you work with everybody, you work with people every day, entrepreneurs every day. You're dealing and having this, I would say, this unprecedented look into their mindset, into what, helping them overcome struggles, helping them overcome challenges, helping them overcome blocks that are in every single new entrepreneur's head. Everybody has them. Even me when I first got started, and even sometimes today. Yes, I'm human. So is Andre and Brittany. What do you tell people? I mean, what is the experience, story, or advice that you give people when you can identify, okay, this person's got a mindset block. They've got a limiting belief around their, they've got a limiting belief that maybe what they say doesn't matter. They've got a limiting belief around maybe nobody wants to listen to them. When you start to see those things creep up in your clients and your students that you work with inside of Legendary, what do you say to those people?
Well, they have to realize exactly what they want, right? So I always try to figure out where they're at and where they're trying to go. Most times there's obstacles, there's roadblocks in front of them that they can see, but I could see it. So it's just words of encouragement that you're able to do this, because people are so self-centered. They're afraid of taking risks. They're afraid of stepping out there. And I just let them know that it's okay, because I was there. She was there. You were there when you just got started. You started with a ringy-dingy computer.
Yeah.
You didn't have a brand new computer. You didn't have an office like this. So every single day, that's the day you have to push forward. You have to, you got to go beyond your wildest dreams, because if you don't and you stay stuck where you are, you will never get anywhere. So you got to push through it.
Yeah.
Most times you got to go beyond. You have to think and realize that, okay, I need something different. So I have to do something completely different.
Yeah.
You won't get different results doing the same things over and over again.
There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of compassion in what Andre's saying for you. We want to make sure that when we're talking to you, we don't talk above you, and that when we're walking with you, you don't feel like we're walking in front of you or behind you. And I think this has been a huge secret for us with helping people. I've now had the benefit, the privilege, the honor, whatever you want to call it, because I'm grateful for the opportunity to have kind of facilitated the growth of two big communities. Before, I had a company that we started from scratch and facilitated this amazing growth, tons of success stories. Much of the industry that we're working in now, a lot of the heavy hitters came from that organic build. And now I had some health challenges and a partner I didn't particularly see the same vision with, and I left that company, went through hepatitis C treatment back in 2014, and then came back online and was able to have the opportunity to start Legendary Marketer and attract so many incredible people. And we've started from scratch. We've started with none of those previous people, no previous affiliates, no previous customers even. Every single person is organically attracted here from our own advertising efforts and word of mouth, and we are bringing in 20 to 25,000 new clients per year. This year it'll be more, actually. And we encourage people, just like Andre just explained, with that empathy that, look, we've been there. We know what it's like. I always like to bring up the picture of me hunched over the computer when I first got started. Those visuals give people that understanding that we're not just talking from theory, or because I think a lot of people, guys, are used to that because school, you got the teacher that's talking to you. You feel like, well, what do you know? What do you know about my situation? What do you know about what it's like for me at home, going home to an alcoholic dad or mom or an abusive home, and you're sitting here preaching and teaching at me that I should be able to do better on this test when I'm having to deal with such and such at home. You know what I mean? Like and then you go to college and you have somebody who's teaching you about business or whatever, and it's like, well, what business have you built? You know what I mean? So it's a blessing for me and you guys to come on and be able to share these stories. That to let people know that when you're stepping up to that phone, you're getting in front of that camera and you feel awkward and uncomfortable, that don't compare the way that your outsides or your insides with our outsides, thinking that, oh, just because we don't look uncomfortable doesn't mean that we're not uncomfortable. Brittany just said that she sweats. I sweat. I'm sweating right now. You know what I mean? Maybe that has to do with the fact that I'm on my third cup of coffee, but anyways, that's besides the point. So you guys recently were in New York City before the pandemic, right? And that was a big accomplishment from your company that you're building, Brittany, is that right? With the support of Andre. I love there's mutual support here. So would you have ever imagined that you guys would be in, I don't know exactly what, maybe you could tell us exactly kind of what happened and where this you taking risk and getting comfortable being uncomfortable has taken you guys. But what was that all about? Was that part of your company thing, or was that okay, so
yeah,
tell us what happened, and I also want you to talk if you would have ever imagined 3 years ago that you would have that, look, maybe life is, you're not where you want to be, but you're damn sure not where you were. So what happened with that? What did you accomplish with that? And then would you have ever imagined that you'd be accomplishing things like you are back when you started?
Okay, so back in February, I was getting ready to go to bed, and a upper person in the company that I'm with was calling on Facebook, and I'm like, did I do something to get in trouble? Like, I'm not answering. Oh, I just went out. I was like, I'm not answering this call because what did I do? Like, it's just going through my head. I know I didn't do anything wrong, but that's just your thought. And then I get a call on my cell phone coming from California, and I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't a mistake, but just me being me, I didn't answer. And I'm like, they can leave a voice message. So I listened to the voice message, and she asked me to call her back. So I did. And she had told me that the video Andre and I and Jackson had created in Jamaica was going to be on a billboard in the middle of Times Square. Do you remember how big it was? I don't remember.
About 14,000
square feet. So we had to submit a video to the company. Of course, it had to be a certain amount of quality and whatnot. And you had to be in really good standing with the company. But I said, when they started doing that, I said, that is my goal, is to be up there. And when it happened, it was like Jackson had just fallen asleep, so I didn't want to scream, but it was a very exciting time. And when you actually go into New York City and see your face up on a billboard, it's the weirdest thing. Like, people are around you, they're like, why are these people taking all these pictures and videos in front of this billboard? And it was just cool when they realized it was you up on the billboard.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, that's you on the billboard.
Yeah. But never in three years ago, I never would have guessed my face would have been up on a billboard in New York City.
I actually cried, man.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I would have too. I don't blame you, dude.
Knowing where you're coming from and the struggles that we went through, her, working a lot and I wasn't working, and we didn't even, it was a dream.
Yeah.
It was a dream. Cool. It was a dream.
You know what's interesting, and of course, achieving and succeeding and making sales and all of that is part of the process of how we measure our success. But on another note, understanding more about what that was all about, that came from you creating a piece of content. I mean, that's ultimately what that was, right? I mean, sure, it helps that you are having success in what you're doing, but that came from you creating a piece of content, which I think is so interesting nowadays. People, they have a video that goes viral on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and then all of a sudden it's a worldwide phenomenon, and they get asked to come on Ellen, and they literally become a celebrity. One of my favorite is the guy he kind of looked like an older dude. He had like a white beard, and he was dancing to the Post Malone song. I don't know if you remember that one, or if you ever saw that, but it went super viral. Then he got asked to come on Ellen, the Ellen Show, and then Post Malone asked him to be in the music video, and they sort of built the whole video around this dude dancing. And it was all just from a video that they recorded in the dance studio of this guy who was kind of like an older, gray-haired, awkward white dude, dancing to this badass kind of club banging Post Malone song, and it just went viral. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think that because I think human beings have always looked at creating content as, okay, that's something that you have to have a professional setup to do, or shoot a commercial or whatever. And even though they see content being posted on social media, they watch it, they're still consuming it like they always have. Like I'm watching something on TV, not realizing that you have the power right in your hands.
You do.
Yep.
You do. I just want to say something real quick. And life is a show. You just don't know who's watching. So just put things out there.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect, because
you should see our setup right now.
Yeah.
Far from perfect, but you never know.
I know. I was watching this special with Alicia Keys last night. My wife and I love her, and she was, doing the interview in her laundry room. I mean, it's like, I think nowadays even more so people appreciate the fact that it's low production. Like that's the thing that I like about like TikTok, and like just a lot of the platforms are embracing this now. Native content really is the lower the quality, the more amateurish it looks, the more potential it has to go viral. And I was reading something last night about studies being done that when things are simple, like they're kind of ugly simple, kind of like Craigslist, for example, like that website, like it's easier for people to process that in their heads. They can process that, and they hold on a second. And they interact with the site more because it like looks simpler and it looks more like ghetto-ish, you know what I mean? And I think that's what we see with memes on, like memes always look kind of like thrown together or whatever, but it's memes are like life. Like memes are everything. Memes help. They have this. So I don't know. It's like maybe you could speak about that, like your setup and how it's not about what does your setup look like? How do you, if you go to film a video, Brittany, I've seen you create a lot of like makeup and lipstick videos and so forth. Like how do you get over that limiting belief that, well, I don't have the latest iPhone or whatever?
So for me personally, if someone's watching you, they want to see what you are going to provide to them. They want to see what you are going to say to them, what they can take away from what you're saying. I do makeup videos with my toilet in the background all the time. I'm like, they're here to see me. They don't care about the toilet in the background. So you just have to get over that fear of having the perfect setup. Right now, we share a bedroom with Jackson. It's a lot of fun. We have our bed, his bed, 2 ring lights. We have my makeup case, a box, and a stool, and that is what the computer is propped up on right now. You do not have to be perfect. Just do the damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do it. You just got to be real.
Yep.
Be authentic, be real, just like you.
Yeah.
You're like one of the realest in the game, man. I appreciate you because you're very straightforward, and I like that.
Yeah.
You're saying what it is. So just be genuine, just be real. These days people are just looking to connect with you.
Yes.
They don't need all that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
They will put themselves and they say, okay, this person is like me. I want to work with them.
Right.
That's it.
I know we've moved from information age, from this whatever so-called digital age, to where, the motion graphics and all this kind of stuff were so impressive, and everybody was, wanting the latest. Oh, look at the graphics in that movie, and look at the graphics in that, and digital this, digital that, the pixel on my camera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to just what's like, make me smile. You know what I mean? Like make me feel connected to you. Like, let me know that you're real. And that's why I think we've seen content that's shot on an iPhone that's not the greatest quality. It's shot on the iPhone 5, or the meme that's sort of a little bit fuzzy, and it kind of looks like it's been screenshotted and shared 1,000 times, which it has. And the live with the toilet in the background, and you got the kids coming in and out of the bedroom, and just the real feeling. I think that we all, if we can give ourselves permission, you guys have done this beautifully, we can give ourselves permission to just be real. We can give ourselves permission to know that who we are is enough, that our message matters even as much as we think that it doesn't, and that there is a message hidden inside of this mess of our lives. Each one of us has some mess, some dirty laundry, some skeletons in the closet. Our bedrooms are messy. Our beds are not made. We're in a pandemic right now. Who gives a shit? It's like, what matters is that, we're trying to create content that speaks to the heart. And I think that, as I've talked to more people, and I think I'd like to end with this is I'd like to understand what you guys' motivation is, and what your why is. I know money is a part of it. I know that we're all looking to put food on the table, that we want financial independence, that's what we're working towards. And, you guys are young enough, thankfully, that, you guys are way ahead of the ball game. You're way ahead of the ball game, in terms of what and the opportunity that you have to put money away and invest and so forth. But it's not all about money. It's about, for me, it's about freedom. For me, it's about all my struggles not being in vain, not just being for nothing. I know that, Andre, you come from Jamaica, and coming over here, I can't imagine what you've seen, what you've done, what you've been through. And then Brittany, I can't, we've all got a story, and, we just know this little bit about how hard you worked before this, but your childhood, everything that you've been through, I imagine that there's both joy and there's also pain there. So it is, again, we know a part of everybody's why is money. We know that's why, we have to, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, we have to make money. But is there a deeper reason why you guys get up and do what you do every single day, and what keeps you motivated?
You want me to start? I'll say, and then you can say. So for me personally, I'll get through this without tears. Growing up, my mom pretty much raised my brother and I on our own. My dad was an alcoholic, so he was never home. They got divorced when I was younger, but it just came to the point where visitations started to be up to my brother and I. My brother would visit, but I was so young, I had no interest in visiting him. So when I found out we were pregnant, I just said that I wasn't gonna not be around for my child. So being able to work from home and really push so I can always be present, like, we're around when he started riding his bike, and his first steps, we were at a mastermind in Florida. So we did miss his first steps, but there's just everything we can be, present for. And this year will mark 10 years since my dad passed away. So just knowing I'm going to be able to be present for Jackson much longer than my dad was ever present for me is what motivates me and pushes me, because I held a lot of grudge, I don't even know if that's the right word to use, against my dad. And I just said, I never want my child to feel that way towards me.
Wow.
And that's like my biggest motivation right there.
Powerful. Andre?
Yeah, for me, it is definitely Jackson. He's a huge part of our lives, and I just want him to have the best life ever, right? And for me, I want to break that cycle. We call that the poverty cycle,
Yeah.
right? I just want to be the best version of myself and for us as a family, because when two people come together, it's much stronger, right? It's better than one. Two heads are better than one. So it's all about him, and we're pushing to give him, the best life ever.
Awesome. You guys are a great inspiration and example for both individual entrepreneurship, what's possible as an individual, and also what's possible when two people from, it's the most beautiful thing. My wife and I are similar. We come from kind of opposite parts of the country. She's from Jersey. I'm from Florida. You guys are from, you're from Jamaica. You're Brittany from where? Where were you born? Massachusetts. Exactly. Yeah. Massachusetts. Right. I'm reminded of that when I hear you really get ranting and that Massachusetts comes out of you, sort of like my wife when she's driving sometimes. But
Jersey comes.
Yeah, and two people come together. Two people come together. So you guys are a great example of that. And also on topic for today, again, I know we launched and we were talking about the TikTok challenge, and I mean that's part of what we're talking about today, but that's just mechanical stuff. You guys know me, I'm about, mechanics are great, and I like to bring people in talking about mechanics, clicking here, doing this, but the dynamics, the what's behind it, what's going to make me follow through and post that video, what's going to make me follow through and record. Well, recording and posting are two different things, as you guys know. I mean, I can sit there and record all day long, but it's a whole nother act of courage to actually hit post. It's a whole nother act of courage to actually, invest, to buy, to enroll. I can scroll, as Andre talked about, all day long on YouTube. I can run back and tell my wife or my girlfriend, oh, I'm going to take some action, but it's a whole nother thing to put my money where my mouth is. I just kicked off a workshop that we're doing, a decade in a day workshop with our clients this morning. Matt's running that right now, and I said, congratulations for investing in yourself and being here, because there's a whole lot of people that want change, but they're not willing to do the things to change. And you got to put your money where your mouth is. And so, you guys are a great example of that, because Andre, look at you now from coming over from, obviously immigrating, but I know you worked on cruise ships, and I know you've just done a whole lot of stuff, man, leading up to this point. And to be able to work at home every day, be around your family, be around your son, both of you, you're an incredible inspiration. We love you, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Any final words that you want to leave folks with?
Any final words?
Just jump in. Go for it. Invest into yourself.
You never know until you try, and it could turn out to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. If you don't get rich, which might have been your original goal, you will grow, right? And what I always say is you don't get the money and then become the person. You become the person and then get the money. And it's better that way anyways, because then you don't end up like all these people who win the lotto and then end up broke because they weren't prepared for that wealth. They weren't prepared for that, right? So prepare your kingdom, prepare your skill sets, prepare your mindset to be able to be a good steward of that money when it starts to come. And that begins with taking action, with, actually getting out of the peanut gallery and onto the field. And you guys have done an incredible job of that. So thanks for coming on, sharing your time. I know you sat up some time for Jackson to go be with Grandma while you did this. So thank you so much. It's an incredible act of service, and we love you, and we'll see you guys later, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I am really truly honored to be with you guys here today, and also to kind of bring you this. I'm going to let you guys go. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
10 a.m. Eastern time. But if you want to be a part of our TikTok challenge, then please go join our group. We don't advertise our group often, but now is the time to get in there and join our group. So there's probably a link somewhere in the comment section or a pinned post or something to join our group, or you can just search for us, Legendary Marketer, on Facebook and ask for acceptance, and it's going to ask you to put your email if you're a customer, and you can just say, heard about the group from the live this morning from Dave's show. Now is a great opportunity. I'm going to continue to say this to instill confidence and certainty in you, okay? Because we're going through a time right now to where certainty is needed. Fear sells, and it's at an all-time high of selling it right now. It's being sold everywhere, and it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have human emotions, but I invite you not to let it cripple you. I invite you not to let it get in the way of you building something more beautiful and powerful for your future. I'm going to get on every single day, 5 days a week anyways, at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to continue to preach this message to you, because you can go and you can go and watch the fear porn all day long if you want to just turn on the news and just sit in front of that all day. But if you want to hear a different message, if you want to hear a message that you can create your own economy, if you want to hear a message that it doesn't matter who's in political office, you can build whatever future you want. If you want to hear that it doesn't matter who your parents were, where you came from, you can build and have as much wealth and prosperity as you wish. If you want to hear that you don't have to settle for the people that you have in your lives and think that those are the only ones that exist on this planet, that nobody understands. There's communities of people who want what you want, who dream like you dream, who work like you work. And it's okay. You can still keep those other friends, but you can be a part of a support community that will lift you up and support you every step of the way. And that's what Legendary Marketer is all about. So come into our community, be a part of it. Come into our Facebook group. Let us run with you on this TikTok challenge. If you want some additional training, then you can go through our 15-day online business builder challenge. That's $7 to enroll. And you can enroll in that challenge at that exact domain, onlinebusinessbuilderchallenge.com. I know it's a little long. Onlinebusinessbuilderchallenge.com. Or if somebody shared this live with you, they may have shared a link directly above or below this video, and you can click that and you can enroll that way. Again, it's $7. And over 15 days, we'll teach you and show you how to create an online business selling education and information products that can earn you high-ticket commissions or high-ticket profit margins. And over 15 days, we'll show you exactly how to do that. So lots of opportunity for you here inside of our community to use this pandemic as a blessing instead of a curse. All right? So be legendary. Keep up the great work. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time right here. Subscribe and set an alarm in your clock to meet me back here at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Have a great weekend. Peace. Love you.